Good afternoon, friends, and what a beautiful afternoon it is. The sun is shining, the sky is blue. It is just gone midday on Friday the 29th of March, year of our Lord 2019. And I have my final project of the day on the bench, and wow. Yes, very good. It does need a little bit of cleaning, but what a guitar. And let me show you. It's a big old thing. It's got a Bigsby on it. There you go. Very nice. Or it will at least have a Bigsby license tremolo. That's right. And it is, it's not a Gibson. It's an Epiphone. But it's not a Dot. It is a Riviera. And it is a limited edition custom shop. I had one of these. Well, I didn't have one of these. I had a limited edition custom shop Firebird. Was it a bass? No, I had the guitar. And I've had both the basses. I've had the Pro bass and the regular bass. But this one, look at it. 3 P93 style pickups, or soap bar pickups, whatever, whether a single coil in a big chunky humbucker sized case, but in fact it's a lot bigger than a humbucker size. But there you go, 3 big pickups here. And it also has a roller bridge, which I love these bridges with rollers on, because it stops string snapping. Not that I've ever snapped strings. I've hardly snapped a string in my life on a guitar. I've snapped more strings putting them on than I've done playing. But yeah, and this has come in for a setup. Now, I already know, I've been across with a fret rocker when the owner of this guitar was here, and we already know that it needs a fret level, so it's going to be a case of we're going to whip everything off. Not even going to do a setup with the old strings on. I'm going to check the electrics first, make sure nothing's crackling. If it isn't, that'll be great, because it means I don't have to oik anything out of this F-hole. It'll be much easier if I can just crack on with the guitar, get the fret level done, get some more strings on it. There is enough material on these frets to do a level, but they are all over the place. They're up and down everywhere. I don't even have to show you. The owner's already seen it, but I will show you once I have got the strings off. And we've got the neck straight, and we will have a good look at it. I'm thinking I could just knock that nut off as it is, which will be great. It can make things a lot easier. But I want to crack on because I want to be done by 5 o'clock today, and that leaves me 4 hours and 40 minutes to do this, and it is a 5.5 hour job. But I will get it done in under 5 hours if I get cracking. So stay tuned, come back and see what's what, and I will be ready to give you an update in a few minutes. Okay. Let's start with the electrics. I have absolutely no idea what's going on with these electrics, because nothing seems to do anything. So let's turn everything on. That acts as a volume, that acts as a volume, and that acts as a volume, all on that middle position. On this position, that does that. That does that. That does that. And on this position, that does note. And then we get to, what does this switch do? And then the tone. Well, the tone works a bit. I have absolutely no idea what was going on with this switching in here. So it looks like I've got to get the electrics out. Anyway, I've texted the guy who owns the guitar. I will have to go and do some research. All I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take the strings off, and I'm going to do the fret level. I'm going to take the nut off, take the strings off, do the fret level, and I'm going to leave the electrics. I'll get the guitar ready for new strings. If I've not heard from the owner, I'll just have to oik the electrics out and have a look and go and find a diagram. But I really don't know what's going off those electrics, but that doesn't seem right at all. But then again, why is it like that? Why do all 3 volumes work in that position? Why does nothing change? Very, very strange. I've tried tapping each pickup with the guitar plugged in all different positions, and I don't know what's happening. Even some when they're supposed to be off sound like they're on, so don't know what's going off in there. So I'll have to do some investigating. For those of you, by the way, those of you that want to know the exact model, it is a Riviera P93 WR. I would imagine that is Riviera model. You've got 3 P90s, that's your P93, and your WR would stand for the colour wine red. I'd imagine that's exactly what all of that means. So looks like the Bigsby came as stock as well. So I will do some investigating. That is going to push me right back. I'm not going to get this done today. I really wish I could have got it done today, but it ain't going to happen. So let's see where we are, see if we get a message back from the owner, and I'll come back and give you an update shortly. But what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to test the intonation, make sure that's alright, so at least we can get it set up pretty much right when we put the bridge back on. Once I've tried that, we'll come across with a fret rocker. I'll show you which frets need work, and we'll crack on with the fret level. I didn't realise I had the drive on my amp when I was testing it earlier, so I'm just testing again. But the only difference we're getting is this. Slightly different in that position than it is this one. There's a very, very slight difference. But that is definitely not right, so investigate. Okay, fret friends, so here we are, and we have the guitar stripped. By the way, I sorted the electrical problem out. There was no electrical problem. The problem with that was the middle pickup is always on, and it has its own independent volume. And in position 1 you have bridge and middle pickup. In position 2 or middle you have all 3 pickups on. In position 3 you have middle and neck pickup on. And the way you turn off the middle pickup is just by to turn down its own independent volume, so you get many more combinations. Anyway, moving on, we're going to get the neck straight. I've already got the neck straight. No, I haven't. Thought I had. Thought wrong, didn't I? Just going to turn a little bit of a turn, just relieve some tension on that truss rod and get the neck dead straight. And then we're going to go across with fret rocker. And we're going to test the frets. That is as straight as we're going to get it. That's beautiful. Very good. So we have a straight neck. I don't know what you're going to see from where you are. Take my word for it, the neck is straight. We are going to go across with a fret. Let me just check again. There's always an area where it dips just a little bit. You never get it perfectly flat. You always get a bit of an undulation, and what you have to do is you have to settle for as straight as you can get it. The way to find out if you're as straight as you can get is you place this on the frets and see, go for your best level. There's a couple of high ones in there. I know there's a couple of high ones anyway. Just make sure we don't have a hillock in the middle anywhere, because that wouldn't be any good. Okay, let's just see if we can just release a little bit more tension there. We'll leave the adjuster in the neck for now. Now you see I've gone a little bit too far. Oh, that's not looking bad actually. Just nip that up to tightness. And I think we are there. That is beautiful. Really happy with that. So now we're going to go across with a fret rocker. I'm going to mark off which of those frets are high, which will show us why we're warranting doing a, I just want to check my fingers. I always do 2 finger guides, one each side, just so I can get the guitar in the centre. There you go, here's my 2 finger trick. So we've got the whole of the neck in shot. Yep, I'm happy with that, that's good. So what I'm going to do is going to go across with fret rocker, 4 different lengths on a fret rocker. It's milled perfectly flat, this one. It's not your cheap tat. It's for 15 quid. It's milled and laser cut. And what we do is we test 3 frets at a time. And if we get a rock, we know the one in the middle is high, or it has a high spot. So all 3 areas, outside, middle, inside, from where you're looking at it, well, from where I'm looking at it. There you go, listen. High spot, high spot. So we have high spot each end of this one, and I'll try and mark exactly where it's high. So where it starts, where it ends there, it's good. And that's it. So I've got 2 areas on this one fret. I'm going to go across all of the frets and mark out all the areas where the frets are high. In the middle, edges are okay. Okay, just a spot in the middle there, about a centimetre wide. And we'll keep going, we're going to do a whole fingerboard. Already we've got 3 in the first 5 frets with high spots. Turn over, shorter side. Very, very tiny bit on that edge. Very interesting, the whole fret. So already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frets. We have 5 high ones. Like I said, this needs a fret level. Okay, half of this one. 5 out of 7. That's 6 out of 9. Same fret, more or less all the way across. So I think we can definitely see that we need a fret level on this guitar. We already have 8 frets in the first 10. 9 in the first 11. So they are kind of all over the place. Not terrible. There you go. You always find along the edges of these guitars. We have enough meat on these frets to do a level rather than have to do a refret. So that fret is all the way across. Wow. Fret number 14. Wow, that's high. And that again is all the way across, bar the side closest to me, so 2/3 of that fret. In the middle there, and at the edge. Wow, again. Pain in the nuts, this one, because doing this is a 5-hour job, whereas a setup is a 2.5-hour job. So I'm getting £25 extra for an extra 2.5 hours, and these frets are all out. So I'm going to have to recrown the lot. So it's a lot of work. So this is right to the middle. So we have a lot of frets with high spots here. I know this one's high because I checked it earlier. I also know it's all the way across. So we have a lot of high spots. This one won't be high because I know that one behind it is. Okay, let's count. The frets first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 high frets. And there are, I count the different areas because we've got the middle and the 2 sides. So we've got 1, 2, 3, we'll just say 13 frets. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We have 24 high spots over 13 frets. Let's check that we do have the neck straight again. Oh yes, we certainly do. And now let's check the 24 areas again. Not to show that I'm not cheating, because I don't cheat, but let's have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are areas. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 high spots over 13 frets. That definitely needs a fret level. I'm going to get it all taped up, tape between the frets everywhere, and we can get on there. We'll cover these pickups in tape. We're going to get a leveling beam across the top, and we're going to level the whole lot in one go. We're going to follow the arc of this fret and this fret, the first and the last, and that will determine the radius. I would imagine this is a 12-inch radius. Just get my radius gauge to check that out. And we'll also go across with a 12-inch radius block just to make sure we've maintained that radius once we've done it with a flat beam. Could be a 14, but I'll be thinking it's a 12. That's a 12. Yes, absolutely a 12-inch radius. So there we go. I already know what I need. Brilliant stuff. So I will get this all set up, and I will come back when I get to start on the leveling process. Back soon, guys. So I just about had the frets level. I didn't cover it in tape. It was not necessary for leveling the frets. It will be necessary for recrowning the frets. But I'm going to brush off all the gubbins, all the filings from there. And what we're going to do is we're going to see if we have got them level. Now I can see there's quite a few of them. We've got flat tops now. And what we've done is we've been across with, first I go off with a completely flat file. My Swiss file, number 4, it's a Valor file. It's got one perfectly flat edge, and what I do is I come across the whole fingerboard and I remove all the black pen. And once I've got the black pen removed, I stop using the file. And once I've got them all done, I will go back to using the, I'm going to use some blue for this. I need to get some new marker pens actually. There's my blue one. And once I've got them all level, and I've gone across with a 240 grit again, I will finish off with the 400 grit, which will be a smoother file, which means it'll get rid of some of these scratches. It'll make them a little bit finer. It'll make it easier to polish out. But what I'm doing at the moment is just going across all of the frets in this blue pen, and if I've done my job right, if I take a 12-inch radius block with some sandpaper on there and go up and down this fingerboard once or twice, all this pen should be removed. And we have removed all of the black, and it's just going into the silver of the frets that didn't need touching. And I'm thinking we should be just about right. So there you go, that's all 20 odd, however many frets they are, covered in marker pen. I'll just turn that off a minute. I'll turn the sound off. And let's see if I have a 12-inch radius block to hand. I absolutely do. Why did I know it was there? Because I used it the other day. And I've got some old paper, 400 grit, and if I've done my job right, this pen should come off pretty quickly. And what I need to do is just press down with the block in the centre, pull up the paper, and I should just need a couple of strokes. Just a couple at this end. And that looks pretty good to me. So that is all the pen removed. Brush off all the gubbins, and we're going to go across with the fret rocker. If I've done my job right, these frets will be level, and we can move on to the crowning. Now when it comes to the crowning, I'm going to show you a couple, but then I'm going to get the guitar all taped up properly, and I'll do a lot. But let's check now for level. And if I've done my job right, these frets should all be level, and I'm pretty sure they are. Don't worry about any of the mess we've got on the fingerboard. We've got to clean the fingerboard yet with mineral oil. There's all gunk and grime all stuck in there from years of play, I imagine. No one's ever cleaned it by the looks of it. This job can get pretty gross sometimes, but look, the frets are all level. beautiful. I much prefer to level the lot. You know, if I've got 3 or 4 or 5 frets and do them by hand, you can do a spot level, but it's never quite the same as doing all of the frets in one go. We now know that we know that the neck is straight, the frets are level, and what we need to do now is we need to recrown. And I'm just going to drop the camera just a little amount like that, and I'm going to quickly show how to recrown. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it. I'm going to set up just to do these first few. And what I'm going to set it up as I set up normal. I will tape the sides of the neck, each side. There's a reason for this. There's a very good reason for this. Just a few, just these 3, because these are the only 3 I'm going to do on camera. The rest I'm going to do off camera. But I'm going to show how I tape up the sides of the fingerboard, like so. We'll move that out of the way. What we'll do is we tape up the whole fingerboard, because when we're filing we don't want to dig into the fingerboard itself with a file and put a ding in there, because then we've got to repair it. And we don't want to be putting scratches or dings in the guitar at all, or anywhere in the guitar. What to do with this is I can just use a half piece there. You know, little ways we can save a few pennies here and there. Always works, always benefits us in the long run. I'm just going to do these 3. So how we recrown is, there are a few ways to recrown, and I have various files to do so. I'm going to do this my regular way, with a 3-edged file, or what we call a 3-cornered file, and you'll see that I am covering the tops of the frets with some marker pen. And we'll zoom in just a little. I don't want to go in too far because we might be out of focus, so that's going to be enough. Let me go and grab my files, and I'll show you how to recrown frets. Now, by recrowning, what I mean is, what we're going to be doing is, where the tops are now flat, we're going to rebuild that crown going that way, like an upside down D shape or a C shape. And what we need to do is leave a thin line around 0.4, 0.5 millimeters, and that is where the string is going to rest on the fret. Now, the less contact we have with the fret, the less chance there is of getting a buzz, so we need a nice round curve. And in the old days I used to use this file, a 3-cornered file I got from Crimson Guitars. It has ground flat edges, so we can't dig in to the wood, but it's quite a coarse file. I do have an updated version, which is this one. It's not from Crimson Guitars, I think it's from Luthier Tech or Tone Tech Supplies, Tone Tech Luthier Supplies, and this is much finer file, again with ground edges. And what I do with this is I'm going to file in, and on the far side of the fret I'll file across, and as I go backwards and forwards I will angle the file toward the camera, and that will build up this crown on the far side. When I've done that side, I'll come and do this side, and I'll angle, as I file, I'll angle the file away from the camera, and that will build up the arc or the crown on this side. So I'll show you how that works. I think this is a one-way cut file, but it will work. When I pull back it's doing nothing, but when I push forward it's cutting, and it's just a matter of taking your time. You can do it in one stroke like this, nice long strokes, or you can just go backwards and forwards like I prefer. And I'm going to start to angle the file slightly toward the camera, and that is that side just about done. I'm going to do the same for this side. We'll start horizontal, and then I'll start to gently just angle the file away from the camera. And I don't know if you can see, but we have a thin black line right down the centre of that fret. Once I've got there, that shows that I've rebuilt the crown both sides, but I've not touched the top of the fret. We don't want to touch the top because we don't want to remove any height. And what I'll do then is I'll go to my crowning file, ready for profile. It's already got the arc or the groove in there. I've got 2.5 mil side or 2 mil side. And all I'm going to do is remove any burrs. So straight across, don't need to do a lot of work with this. But again, that will not touch the centre of the fret, which it hasn't. Once that is done, I'll clean off again, and I'll finish off with a diamond file. This is the finest of all the files. This groove here has got diamond filings in there, real diamond, and it will cut this fret really, really smooth, and it will remove any more burrs, it will smooth it off, anything I've missed with a bigger file, but yet it will not remove anything from the top. So we've maintained the height, but that fret is finished. Look at that, it's fantastic. It feels nice, it's got a nice, it's nice and round, it's crowned, and it's beautiful. And then what we do is, once we've done it, we check again, make sure we've not lost any height, and we haven't, which is fantastic. So I'm going to show one more. What I always do, by the way, when I've used a file, is a bit of damp on there, and I wipe the file. You always do it on a diamond file. Give it a bit of a wipe and give it a dry wipe, and that's ready to go again. Same again with this file, and same again with this file. Always give it a wipe. So I'm going to show one more. I'm probably not going to talk as much. I'm going to have the files ready. I'm not going to clean them, because you know I clean them every time. I'm just going to work, and we're going to do this one. Beautiful. I said I wasn't going to wipe the file, but it's just, I do it automatically. And there you go. Check it again that we've not removed any height. We shouldn't do, because I kind of know what I'm doing. And we go one along just to make sure, and that is it. And that is how I crown files. I do believe I have a few more to do. 15, 17, 19, 20, 22. I have 20 more to do. So I'm going to tape up the whole of the fingerboard. The reason I tape it up, when I come to polishing later, this tape needs to be there, so it'll all be ready for me polishing with the fine grit sandpaper later. So I'm going to crack on, tape up the rest of the fingerboard, and I'm going to get these crowned, and you'll come back and see me when we're doing the polishing. Now, with the frets all recrowned, which took it takes about an hour, they're all recrowned, they're beautiful. We've been across the whole fingerboard with a fret rocker, checked that everything's level, and it is. We have got my least favourite part of the job, and that is polishing. And we polish not to get the frets shiner, but we also polish to remove all the scratches we have put in the frets with the files. And we have 5 different grits of sandpaper for polishing, coming through from 800, 1000, 1200, 1500, 2000 grit. So getting progressively finer. The most coarse one being the 800, the finest one being the 2000. And what we are going to do is we're going to polish this way, and we're going to get all the scratches out where it's been left by the files. So it's just a matter of 22 times 5 lots of paper plus 22 times 1 lot of steel wool. So we've got 22 times 6, which I believe is 132. So we're polishing 132 frets, and it is boring, but it is so worthwhile. And all we're going to do is go across the top, get into the corner this side, and across the top again. Now, if these were new frets, which they aren't, we would also sand across the bevel there, like so, and that way. But because they're not new frets, you don't have to. They've already been done. So if it was a new, say for instance I just refretted this, we would be going across all of the bevels as well with each piece of paper. And that means we'd use a lot more paper, and it'd take quite a bit longer. But we don't have to do that, because these are frets that are already there. We just levelled and crowned them. So there you go. Like I say, we've got 22 times 5 lots of paper and 22 times 1 lot of steel wool. So I'm going to crack on, get these done. I imagine it's going to take me anything from an hour to 90 minutes, depending on how many times I walk out the room, bored with an hand ache. You'd have to put some elbow grease in this, and it does take a while. But this one piece of paper will do all 22 frets. So what I'll do is I shall bang some music on, or I shall bang something on to listen to while I do this. And I will crack on once I have finished. I'll be removing my tape, clean up the fingerboard, get some mineral oil on there, clean it all up, and we'll get my nut back on, get some strings on, and get the guitar set up. And the frets are done, and I hope you can see what I can see. We've gone through with 5 different grits of sandpaper from 800 grit through to 2000 and finished off with steel wool, and these frets are like glass. I don't know if you're going to get the benefit of this looking glass, maybe you will, but they are stunning. Hopefully you're getting some of that. It'd be good if you were. They are beautiful. So that is them done. I can now remove the tape. I'm going to treat the fingerboard with lemon oil. Because of time, it's getting late on a Friday afternoon. I'm not going to film much more. I'm going to rip off all of this tape, get off all of those masking tape off. I'm going to spray this over the fingerboard, let it soak in, clean the fingerboard, glue the nut back on, and we're going to get some strings on, get it set up, and we can have this guitar ready to go. Welcome back, friends, and I've got to make a little apology because I accidentally deleted part of this video, which was after I polished the frets, where I'd cleaned up the fingerboard, where I sprayed it with mineral oil, cleaned it all up, gave the fingerboard a real good scrape. There was a lot of gunk on there. I wonder if I can find it. If I find it, here you go. And this is the gunk, some of the gunk that came off the fingerboard after I cleaned it. It was quite disgusting. I had to scrape it off with a standing off. It was all standing off blade, but that's all done. But I've missed that part of the video. I accidentally deleted it this morning when I was editing and putting all the video together, and what happened was in the transition from a camera to the computer, I'd interrupted it and it disappeared from the camera, but it was also only 6 seconds of it on the computer, so I don't know how much I missed. But anyway, on the bright side, the guitar is finished and it's fantastic. And look at it, it's just beautiful now. It's a different guitar. The setup is fantastic. I've sussed out how to work the electrics properly. This is the middle volume and the middle pickup is always on. I think I've explained that. In this position it's bridge and middle. In this position all 3 pickups are on, and in this position it's middle and neck. And how we cut the middle pickup out of the equation is we just turn the volume right down on it, and that cuts it out, and then you can have a normal position. You can have bridge, you can have these 2, or you can have just this in those positions. So yeah, very good, very interesting. What a beautiful looking guitar. I've restrung it with Diodario 1046s. I have not put the truss rod cover on, have I? Just realised that. I do this a lot. I'm in a bit of a rush this morning because I've got to nip out in a minute. Then I've got quite a few clients coming in today. I've got at least 3 people coming in this morning. So let's just bang this on there. So just to recap, the guitar came in just for a check-up. It became apparent that it needed complete fret level, which it has had. Dropped a screw, kept my eye on it, good. So it's had a complete fret level and a complete setup. The electrics didn't need touching, which is fantastic, because to work on the electrics on these guitars you need to oink the guitars out of the F hole, and that is, getting them out is not really a problem, getting them back in is, it's a bit of a mare. So just getting this truss knuckle back on. So complete setup, complete fret level. I do like the roller bridge on this. I love roller bridges, it's fantastic. Another screw disappeared. Yeah, I do like the roller bridge. So, I'm losing it here. I'm not concentrating. It's because I've got such a busy morning ahead and I want to get this done. Just get that screw in there. That's it, the guitar is done. The Bigsby, I'm not a big fan of Bigsby's, but for those that are, it's not bad. So there it is. It is an Epiphone Riviera P93, 3 P90s pickups, or 93 pickups, I don't know what they are. I was told they're just 3 P90s, that's what it means. Great looking thing, but done, ready to go out the door. So, I'm Victor Christian, your fret friend. Just before I do go, remind you of my website, fretfriend.co.uk. Again, fretfriend.co.uk. Go and have a look down there. Also, if you want to find out anything in particular about me, you've got slightly more information on my Facebook page, facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I'm Victor Christian, I'm your fret friend. Until next time, boys and girls, God bless you, be good to each other, and see you soon.